So, James, were there any other famous people that you ever met or talked about the Urantia book with?
Uh, yeah, there was one in particular that really I enjoyed. It was while I was working on the phones at Urantia Foundation and got a call from Eddie Albert, who was a famous actor from the 50s and 60s, stage and screen, very well known. By that time, into the 60s and 70s, it was on Green Acres, and that was a really, really popular TV show, comedy hit. And he had such a unique voice. He had this just unique Eddie Albert voice, and I pick up the phone and said, "This is Eddie Albert, and I need a couple of Urantia books." And I'm like, That's Eddie Albert. I've been watching him on the TV for so long." It was, and I had to keep my composure and all that, and just sent him a couple of books, and we just had a nice little chat, and that was it. So, and then I later heard that he was a reader, and he frequently called and bought books or had them shipped to his friends. I'm like, wow, a famous Hollywood guy is reading this book. Okay.
Wow. And I was also wondering about if you could say something about your own songwriting and how maybe the Urantia books influenced it.
Well, it certainly has. I've been writing songs since I was young, playing music, and the influence has leaked in, for sure. It's leaked in. I was really late making an album. I just did that a few years ago, but the title of the album is "A Long Way to Heaven," and it talks about the journey from here up to heaven. And there's other cosmically, spirit rock. That's, people go, "Well, what kind of music you write, James?" I go, "Well, spirit rock." And they go, "Whoa,
and
what's that?"
You've been playing live quite regularly, I've heard.
Yeah, I play in breweries and wineries and special events, parties.
What region where you're living?
That would be in the Sierra, Northern California. I'm sort of near Lake Tahoe and in the foothills. So I'm up there. I perform as Jay Woody. That's my stage name, because it's easier than James Woodward, which sounds so formal. So I go by Jay Woody.
So do you have a website or a place people can find your music?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's Facebook and a regular devoted website, Jay Woody Music. No, jaywoody.com. Facebook, it's Jay Woody Music. So yeah, but I'm not very good on the self-promotion. Social media aren't.
It seems like people have been talking about a lyric about nothing to hide. What was your message when you want to say something about the lyric? And I'm not sure if I got it exactly correct, but
well, it's a song I wrote. It's called "The Mission of Me." That's going to be on my next album. I've just recorded it and getting ready to finish it off. But it's basically about the freedom that you have when you finally decide you have nothing left to hide. And all of us have something to hide. Yes, we do. And there's a great freedom in just saying, well, here I am. This is what I am. And what you see is what you get. Sometimes it's the secrets. In fact, I think it's the AA says something about it's your secrets that make you sick. I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I mean. It's
and kind of in your spiritual journey too, in your relationship with God, as well as your relationship with the world.
True that, and that's part of it too. I no longer have anything to hide about the fact that I'm massively religious. And I don't go around telling everybody that, but if they ask, they're going to find out. Yeah, I love God. I love Jesus. The whole heaven story, all that we get packaged up so perfectly in the Urantia book. So
I was thinking about how it seems like quite a few of the musicians who I've found evidence were influenced by the book in one way or another, or musicians you grew up with. We talked about Van Morrison, but Bruce Coburn comes to mind, maybe Moody Blues. Some of the others, Grateful Dead, bands that played at Woodstock and so forth. And it's also an interesting combination there where in the counterculture where music played a role in social change, which, and the Urantia Book has that line about that a musician could change the course of a nation. But yeah, it'd be interesting if you could just say anything about maybe, I think you told me you really love Bruce Coburn's songwriting and you're surprised he's not so well known. And but also about if you have any reflections about the counterculture and how music played a role in maybe spiritual awakening or social change or.
Well, yeah, it's unavoidable to look at how either the music influenced the culture or that some sort of a spiritual culture came down and influenced the people who subsequently made this music that changed the world in the 60s particularly. Going from, sappy little tunes to Love Is All You Need. It definitely was a transition there. I think there was some spiritual, I sometimes say the angels were going around, just sprinkling their love dust, and their wisdom. I don't know exactly what happened. Drugs were a part of it. Mind expanding drugs. There's no doubt that had some kind of a role. But Bruce Coburn, he's an amazing songwriter, and he was. We know that he was reading the Urantia Book at some point. How committed of a reader we don't really know, but it leaked into his lyrics too. A song called "Lord of the Starfields" comes to mind, which is very cosmic. And he's also very overtly Christian. He's a treasure in Canada. He's won every award like the Grammys in Canada. And down here in the States, he's not as well known, which is a tragedy. But yeah, I was really drawn to his music. Part of the reason probably he's not a huge star is because he sings a lot of songs about Jesus and God. If you don't know who I'm talking about, check out Bruce Coburn. He's made like 25, 30 albums, and they're just massively good. He brings a good message.
Well, thanks a lot, James. It's been great to be able to interview you.
My pleasure.
Thanks
Mike,
for all that.
Thank you for doing this, archiving, recording. It's a pretty interesting topic, the Urantia Book, and famous people who have read it or really been influenced by it. And congratulations on doing this research, and we're looking forward to the book.
Thanks, James.
Whenever you get it published, Mike.
Thanks, James. Thanks for your support.
Yeah.
Thanks a million. Thank you, man.